Hey, this is Tyler Jackson here. I have my business partner here, Kyle Hall, with me,
Hello, everybody.
and we just wanted to give you a little market update because what we're seeing out there is some crazy stuff, some wild things. And so, Kyle, I mean, just quite frankly, what's your experience been over the last, I guess, really since Christmas ended or the New Year?
Yeah, we had over the holidays there, Thanksgiving, Christmas time. We had kind of the obvious slowdown. You know, people are doing stuff with their families for the holidays. They don't necessarily want to think about selling or buying a home.
And it's like the greatest time to buy.
Right.
Because tell them what's happening now.
Yeah, because we're in this period now where ever since New Year's, just a pretty insane market. I'm working with a couple different buyers right now that are.
What's been your experience?
Well, they're struggling to buy a home. I mean, they've got funds. They've got a great pre-approval. They have, with great terms, can really provide a great number of concessions to a seller. And we're struggling to buy a home just because of the number of competitive buyers there are in Grand Rapids right now, and the surrounding areas. This isn't just a Grand Rapids thing. It's really all of West Michigan in my experience.
Well, let me talk about that too. So
Yeah.
we've been looking to make a move as well, and which I think you're thinking about.
Yeah. Yep.
And we're looking to get out into Grand Haven, and just the price jumps we've been seeing have been mind-boggling. As we're looking at homes, saying like, and some of them I'll say are a little overpriced, and they do drop down. But there's been a few where I'm like, are you kidding me? Who is paying what for that?
Right. Yeah.
And like, so tell me about some of your multiple bid situations you're seeing.
So we've had the ones that really stand out to me just in the past 2 weeks. There's specifically one young couple I'm working with that we've just had just a hell of a time. We wrote a very strong offer. It's in the price range of about, the low 200s. I'd say probably the 200,000 range, up to the 300,000 range is where we're seeing this. And it's, we're writing offers $25,000 over list, $30,000 over list price. On top of that, we're giving, a small appraisal guarantee. For those of you that don't know what that is, essentially anytime you write a contract to purchase a home, there's an appraisal that happens, and if the appraisal price comes, the appraised value comes in below the proposed purchase price, usually what happens is either this buyer will bring a small amount of money to cover the difference between appraised value and the proposed purchase price, or the seller will come down to that appraised value. Now,
That's supposed to be like a safeguard,
right? So
appraisals are supposed to be a safeguard for the consumer.
Mm-hmm. And so we're offering basically this concession that says, hey, we'll bring more money above appraised value to the closing table if the appraisal comes in low. On top of that, we're doing things like waiving inspections. We're saying, hey, we don't need the first 10 days to do inspections on the home.
And we don't advise that.
It's even whenever my clients, decide that they want to do that, I always have to, give the disclaimer that this isn't something that I necessarily recommend to do on almost any home. I mean, obviously there are some homes that are super, you can tell just by being in them, and Tyler and I have seen so many homes and been in so many homes. We know the things to look for.
We're not inspectors, but
right.
But you can tell. Okay, the furnace is 20 years old. The inspection gives you teeth essentially to negotiate down, but it becomes tricky because when you have 8 other offers sitting behind you,
who are also waiving inspections,
who are waiving inspections, or if you do inspections and then you find something, but you have 8 other people that are willing to make up the slack. So, but it's putting buyers in a real challenging situation right now.
Right.
I mean, I had one experience where I listed a house and they sold it to a friend of a friend, and they gave us $10,000 over asking and ensured it would get $10,000 more with an appraisal guarantee if it didn't appraise. And then we had somebody who wrote a sight unseen offer for $298,
which is how much above list?
which was 28,000 above list. So it's the desperation right now is palpable,
Right.
in what people are willing to write. So, few things that I'm seeing. Well, let me just hit you with some numbers here. Since December of 2020, going back to December 19, so 1 year, the market in the greater Grand Rapids area went up 9.2%. If you go out to the lakeshore, it went up 18.2%. So you're seeing in this West Michigan area, and I can go through other numbers as well that are just astounding. And even if you look at like last month's numbers, was crazy. I can't imagine what it's going to be this coming month when January's over.
Right. Yeah.
Is it going to be a 20% jump?
Well, I mean, and so Tyler mentioned earlier that that both him and I are looking to make a move soon, and it's like, I think that's testament to people who have thought about making a move, or selling their home or anything like that. It's like if your realtor's selling your home, it's probably time for you to sell your home.
It's a good thought.
You know, we've seen these huge jumps over the past couple months, and you're going to do two things, I think, when you list your home in Grand Rapids right now. You're going to make, most likely, you're going to make a great profit selling at this time in the market. On top of that, you're also doing just the overall market in Grand Rapids a favor, I think. We're so short. The reason that all this is happening is because we're so short on inventory, combined with the fact that
It's like people are afraid to list because they don't know where to go.
Right.
So no one's listing.
Right.
And it's creating this giant
And so it
bottleneck.
creates a vacuum. You know, we need an influx of listings to help, I think, kind of bring us back to baseline. At least maybe it'll at least help with the problem. I mean, everybody knows this has been going on in Grand Rapids for the past 3-4 years now, maybe more.
Yeah.
It's like we've had this problem where everybody wants to move to Grand Rapids and nobody wants to move out, and so yeah, our advice, and I think maybe to the reason that we're recording this right now, is to give a heads up to those people who have thought about moving, making a move, you know, in the near future. I think now is the time to do it. I really do.
So, and then touch on too. So you're seeing, you know, every house you're writing on with your clients right now has had like a multiple bid situation.
Let's see. 3 out of the last 4 offers I've written have had 20 plus offers.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
Yeah.
What do you do then to make your offer more competitive? Because to me, I'm looking at wave appraisal with, you know, certain confidences, appraisal guarantees.
Yeah, if you have the money to do an appraisal guarantee, I would think about doing that. You know, obviously Tyler and I just said that just previously we had indicated that appraisal guarantees aren't always the best idea, but if you know, Tyler says all the time, what's the cost of happiness? You know, if you're going to be really happy at a house.
The only thing where you're seeing these appraisal guarantees and where you're seeing them used is when they don't actually appraise. So talking to Scott, our lender, I don't see that being an issue. He said like 5% of the time you have appraisal issues. So
right. And the only time, I think what you're saying, the only time that those guarantees are going to kick in is if you have some type of, you know, if the home doesn't appraise. So yeah, you're not going to have, it's not like you're going to lose that money if the home appraises. So I guess that's,
you won't have to spit that money out.
Right, exactly.
So you're relatively safe in those appraisal guarantees, but you just want to make sure you have the money in case you have to do it, which depends on what you're putting down. If you're already putting like 30% down, you just put, in theory, 20% down or whatever it is to make up that difference. So not a big thing. Now, Kyle, switching directions here. What I think would be wise if you're thinking of selling and making this happen, you could have upwards of 90 days to make this whole transaction and transition happen, because you could ask for 60 days after close, at least get 30. And by that time, we're going to be in a different market, wouldn't you say?
You're saying, you're
like
asking,
April. It's probably going to start to slow down because people will that insanity of needing to buy and people getting ready to sell will start to take place and kind of hit that equilibrium. I would think.
And then we hit on top of that too. We coming into summer, it's not as crazy as the beginning of the year.
I think June is where you start to see a slowdown.
Right. You're starting to, the kids are
out of school,
and
people are going on trips.
Right. Exactly. I remember 4th of July always seems like, to me, I guess it's kind of the day that sticks out where it's like, okay, well, time to take a breath. Get
the
ready.
Dog days of summer.
Yeah. So yeah, that's that's something that that I've done in the past with the last home that I sold. We got under contract. My wife and I got under contract for selling our home, and I just asked for 60 days after close possession for that. So it takes 30 days to close on the home, give or take a few days. And then we asked for those 60 days possession.
We have a lender who says he can do it in 2 weeks.
That's what he says. It's impressive. It's impressive.
Right? Yeah. His feet to the fire.
So yeah, in a lot of scenarios, you're gonna have 90 days possession after close.
60.
Sorry, 90 days in total. 30 days under contract, and then 60 days after that.
If we can get the 60.
And then we can. And I did it. We found a home within those 90 days. We found it in the first 60, and then got under contract for it and closed before our 60 days after close had ran up. So it is possible. I've done it. I'm living proof of that, and people do it all the time.
We've done a lot of stuff like this too.
Right. So
we're like the deal doctors. We put life into those dead deals.
If your concern is oh my God, what are we gonna do? We have a home that we want to sell, but we don't know where we'd go. Very possible. Very doable. We do it all the time. We personally have done it.
And the market needs your home. And here's the thing: if you want to sell, let's do it, because the interest rates are so low. If the interest rate goes up 1%, you're paying 10% more for that same house. So if you could afford $300, now you can only afford $270, or it's like paying $330 for that $300 if it goes, say, from 2.7% to 3.7%. So those are like real numbers.
Right.
So we need you to sell your house because A, you want to, and 2, if you're planning on moving, it's a good time.
It's a great time to do it.
And then 3, your interest rate's going to be stellar. Because I know if we sell, we can actually buy a bigger house, and I think overall pay less because the interest rate's now like 1.5% lower than what we would have. So it's astounding.
Right. It's a weird time right now because usually, obviously I think we are in a seller's market, but at the same time it's very strange because it's the best time to buy almost with interest rates as well as they are.
Right.
So everybody's winning, right?
Everybody is, yeah. Now, switching gears, I don't see anything crazy happening with the market. I think it's going to stay pretty steady. The outlier is the homes in forbearance because of COVID. So if you're not paying on your payments and then your payments are coming due, that might put some homes on the market. But if that's the situation you're in, give us a call because we can help you. You'll probably have equity to cover anything, so you're not going into foreclosure.
Definitely.
That you owe.
If you've
don't go into foreclosure. That's bad.
Right. If you've run into tougher times with the COVID situation and the kind of strange times that we're in right now, and you find yourself unable to make payments, a really good reset button is to sell your home, get the equity out of it from the increase in market value, and to take that and maybe get into a better situation. So like Tyler was saying, if you're in a situation like that, let's give us a call. We'll help you get out of it. Start fresh.
Yeah. So wrapping this up, great time to buy. The interest rates are super low, below 3%. That's huge. 2, get yourself into a position where you can buy, have that down payment, have those closing costs, and have a game plan for how to get your offer accepted. We can help you definitely with that. 3, if you're ready to sell, talk to us because we got ways and strategies to help you sell and then find your next house. We'll do letters to homes you like. We'll work, but also have a backup plan. Like maybe you got to move in with mom and dad or some friends for just a short time until you can find that house. It's going to be a great time to sell because there's just so much need that it gives the seller a lot of power per se in negotiations. So, Kyle, is there anything you'd like to add to that?
No, I think that sums it up.
Well, again, feel free to reach out to us. My name's Tyler. This is Kyle, and we look forward to hearing from you. Thanks.